Hey, honey.
Yes, Barry?
Let's get out of here.
Where are we going?
Where do we always go?
Fascina el viento, este ritmo de palmas, sin ti naturaleza, hasta encontrar la playa. Por eso grito al mundo, yo soy de Puerto Vallarta. Samba de Puerto Vallarta, noche de arrullo en el mar. Samba de Puerto Vallarta.
Hello, fellow travelers, and welcome to this episode of the Puerto Vallarta Travel Show. I'm your host, Barry Kessler, and I am just so happy to be introducing you to my favorite vacation destination. Hey, maybe it's even yours, and that's Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. That music you're listening to is performed by Alberto Perez, and Alberto is the owner of the Lapa Lapa group of restaurants. Those are the Lapa Lapa, Puerto Vallarta's oldest restaurant on the famous Los Muertos beach, and then there's the El Dorado restaurant and beach club right next door, so you can enjoy that fantastic view of the Los Muertos pier, all lit up at night in beautiful colors, or during the day in its grand splendor for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, seated with your toes in the sand right at the water's edge. It's so romantic. It's so Puerto Vallarta, my friends. This week we are going to the new Whiskey Kitchen over on Avenida Francisco Villa over in Colonia La Vena. That's right next door to Colonia Versalles. So it is called Whiskey Kitchen Versalles. We're going to be talking with the lady in charge. You've met her before. She's the owner, Gina Hendricks. We're going to be talking about their new location and their some new things on their menu. Then we're going to be heading to a rooftop in Colonia Pitial. We're going to be visiting with my friends, Debbie and Ray, over at their casa. We're going to get on their roof, and we're going to chat with Viviana Nolberque. Now, Viviana is an artist. She's a muralist, too. But she's most famous for her canvases, which she makes herself, and she constructs them from recycled wood that she gets from pallets, wooden pallets. The name of her business is La Martina Art, Puerto Vallarta. So it's a twofer. We're going to have Gina and Viviana, but before we get to both of those, it's a busy week in paradise. Let's see what's happening this week in Puerto Vallarta, the 29th of May, 2023. Pride Month is coming to an end in Puerto Vallarta, and on the 25th was the big Vallarta Pride Parade. Now, when Vallarta does a Pride, they don't disappoint. They don't mess around, if you know what I mean. And the intrepid veteran reporter, Salvador Estrada, my boots on the ground man over on the Malecon, wheels on the ground, I should say. Salvador sits in a wheelchair, if you don't know, on the Malecon. He sells candy and cigarettes and trinkets to disco goers and the throngs of tourists and locals that walk past him in the spot where he sits. And he sits right there where the three loud clubs are on the Malecon. And I bought a new phone for Salvador about a year ago, and it's really paid off in spades. I got to say, I get sunsets and fireworks from the Margalante every night from Salvador. Well, every night that he's working, I should say. And the other day, on the 25th, I started getting videos of the parade from him. And, they came in about a minute and a half clips. So I uploaded them to the Puerto Vallarta Travel Show Facebook page. And if you're interested on, exactly how that parade went, you can find it all right there. I have a link to it in the show notes. And, of course, just go to the Puerto Vallarta Travel Show Facebook page and check it out. Now, May 31st is a very, very important day in Puerto Vallarta, and it's fast approaching, I must say. And it is the day that patas saladas and people in general who love Puerto Vallarta celebrate the anniversary of this pueblo. She's celebrating her number 105 anniversary as a municipality. That's when she was Las Peñas. And then 55 years ago, she became a city. She became Puerto Vallarta. So that's right, May 31st, coming up in just a couple of Wednesday, 55 years as a city. From the Instituto Vallartenses de Cultura, we have something here. It says, let's celebrate together the 105th anniversary of the municipality and the 55th anniversary as a city of our Puerto Vallarta. The municipal government of Puerto Vallarta, in collaboration with the Instituto Vallartenses de Cultura, invites you to celebrate the anniversary of Puerto Vallarta. There will be a pyro musical show, mariachi, live music, live folkloric ballet, and a surprise artist, and much more. We're waiting for you next Wednesday, May 31st at 6 p.m. at the Los Arcos de Malican. Do not miss it. So lots of celebrations are going to be going on all around town, I've got to say, leading up to the 31st. So look out for them if you are in town. And in keeping with the theme of looking back over the years from Vallarta's infancy to where she is now today, the unveiling and the inauguration of a new mobile museum is going to take place on the 31st of May. And here is an article from the Tribuna de la Bahia. It says Vallarta will have a mobile museum while they buy a farm. They enable a truck. It says here, this is by Miguel Gonzalez Guerrera. He writes, the Puerto Vallarta History Museum Civil Association will crystallize its mission of providing the city with a museum, despite facing setbacks in its first attempt to acquire a space to house its historical, artistic, and cultural testimonies, with the purpose of attracting both tourists as well as local residents. Also, this museum will serve as an educational tool for students. Due to the lack of donations, they were forced to cancel the purchase of an old building in the central Abasola Street. However, they used the funds raised to purchase a truck, and they adapted it for traveling exhibitions. Now, this truck is a bus, okay? Carla Moreno Briones, president of the organization, announced exclusively to CPS Noticias Tribuna de Bahia on International Museum Day that on the 31st, they're going to inaugurate their mobile museum called Ruta Mushi Museo de Historia, possibly located near the park. He recalled that 3 years ago, they started working to have a history museum in the city. Last summer, the House Museum was expected to be a successful project, somewhat ambitious. The funds were not raised. There was no support of any kind to achieve it, but we raised very little. And we looked for what to do with that little money. And there were several ideas that we continued with the project. But we wanted to inaugurate it on the 31st, which is the birthday of the municipality of Puerto Vallarta. And Puerto Vallarta deserves a history museum, no matter how big it is, but the one that goes out onto the street. So overcoming the failure of the first goal, the organization and the project continue. Now they will go through a stage that Carla Moreno highlighted will bring history closer to the people of Vallarta at different points where people, institutions, and businessmen see the importance of a museum and then, yes, specify a physical space for that particular purpose. So the article continues, the bus will be in different parts of the city with temporary exhibitions. An urban bus was bought. All the seats inside were removed, and it's becoming the Mushi, which we are going to install televisions and showcases. We're working with various intellectuals who know the history of Puerto Vallarta on what we will mount inside of the bus. Many of us who love Vallarta are working very hard to achieve this, highlighted Carla Moreno. Several Vallarta residents have joined, including the city chronicler, Manuel Gomez Encarnacion, and other local historians in preparing the technical sheets. The painters Ada Colorina and Marcela Lepe have freely decorated the exterior of the bus with landscapes of Puerto Vallarta. In the first campaign, 280,000 pesos were collected, of which 260,000 have already been spent. The plan is to set up a board of trustees that allows the mobile museum to continue operating, which they consider to be just a little seed, so that the idea of having a building for the city museum does not go away, doesn't end. In the schedule, the truck will be parked during the week at the following points. So here we go. It's going to be at the API Maritime Terminal on Tuesday, City Center on Wednesday, Marina Vallarta on Thursday, and Hidalgo Park on Friday, Lázaro Cárdenas Park on Saturday, the Malecon closed Sunday and Monday. Okay, so Lázaro Cárdenas Park, in other words, at the Malecon, and then they're going to be closed Sunday and Monday. Their hours are going to be 9 o'clock in the morning until 9 p.m. That's the plan. It's going to be like an open book in which locals and visitors can read the past of our community in its various stages and manifestations. The history, culture, and idiosyncrasies of Vallarta distinguish it from other destinations, which is why the exhibition will change monthly. In January, the founding of Puerto Vallarta will be remembered. In February, the film Night of the Iguana will be addressed, and so on. In March, they'll focus on actually architecture celebrities. They'll be spotlighted. In April, town to city transformation will be explored. In May, archaeology. In June, pirates and whalers. In July, land and water sports on display. In August, in September, the charreria will be presented. In October, art will be highlighted. In November, they will address the pantheons and the Day of the Dead. And finally, in December, they're going to focus on churches and on pilgrimages. And I have a link to that article from the Tribuna de la Bahia in the show notes. And in my blog, of course, it's on the website over at www.puertovallartatravelshow.com. You just go to the blog and the podcast tab, and then you find this episode or any episode that you happen to be looking for. And, of course, you will find that link to that Tribuna de la Bahia article. Now, if you remember, I interviewed a historian of sorts many years back, Arturo Pasos Munoz. Arturo was a photographer in Puerto Vallarta. He was a photographer for a newspaper. And actually, he and JR both worked for different newspapers in Vallarta, and they used to cross paths, according to JR. At the time when I interviewed Arturo, way back when, this was back in August of 2019, if you can believe that, Arturo was talking about raising money for a museum. And just recently, he started posting about a surprise coming to Puerto Vallarta on the 31st. So I put two and two together, and I messaged him, and I said, is that mobile museum your museum? And he said, that was the one. So that was the one that he was talking about way back when. That was 4 years ago. And although the dream of the building has not come true, part of that dream is coming true for Arturo. It'll be a bus. It'll be moving around town. And, look for the fundraising for the building. Now, that Museo bus looks really pretty. And if you follow the link to the article from the Tribuna de la Bahia that you'll find in the show notes, you will see for yourself just how lovely a job was done by Ada Colorina and Marcela Lepe. They did a beautiful job on that bus. Go to the show notes. And I also have a link to the interview that I did way back when Arturo was on the show. I've got that in the show notes as well. Speaking of converted buses, you remember I interviewed a couple who were parked on the Malecon. They had a bus called El Bicho Latino. Remember that? Well, the bus is for sale. The Bicho is for sale, you guys. You can get it if you want. You can find it in San Cristobal de las Casas. That's in Mexico. And you can buy it for a mere $49,000 US. I have a link to that for sale information. It's a Mercedes-Benz. It's a 1114. It's registered as a mobile home in Argentina. It was built in 1986. It's 9 meters long, and it's got a barely broken in low consumption diesel engine. It was newly rebuilt in 2003. So I have a link to their for sale description of this one-of-a-kind vehicle. It's in the show notes, as well as a link to that interview that I had with those folks from the Bicho. And that also was painted on the outside, if you remember too. I wonder if that would pass vehicle verification in Puerto Vallarta. I'm guessing probably not. And yes, they are still doing sporadic manifestations, protests in Puerto Vallarta, blocking traffic and making life a little more colorful in paradise. Yep, they're still doing that. Speaking of colorful, my wife and I had a really neat experience for her birthday. We spent the night in one of the suites above Andale's restaurant, the famous Andale's restaurant in Olas Altas. I was tossing around spending one special night in town. We were staying with Ray and Debbie in their lovely PTL hideaway. And I was kind of scrolling through the Airbnb app, and lo and behold, there was a listing for the suites above Andale's. It was like $110, including the tax and the cleaning fees and all that stuff. And so I decided, what the heck, I'm going to go ahead and do this. I figure, what the hey, if it's too loud, we'll just hop in a cab and we'll just hightail it back to PTL, right? So anyway, we returned from the Botanical Garden. We spent the day there at the Botanical Garden. And we had planned ahead. We knew what we were going to be doing. So we brought a change of clothes and our toiletries and stuff in our day packs. And then we walked down from the bus stop and we checked into Andale's suites. We were given a pass key, which opened an elevator door, which is right next to the restaurant. If you walk past Andale's, you'll see it. It's a stainless steel elevator door there. And the elevator takes you up to the suites. And we were on the 6th floor, and the room was very nice. It was kind of a fishbowl. I mean, it had windows on 3 sides. And you could see, I mean, the view was fantastic of the Olas Altas area. There was a communal dipping pool, which was about a flight of steel stairs down from where we were. There was just like a sliding door there, and down you would go. There was an ocean view as well, which is pretty cool. Now the bed, that was a different story. It was a queen size bed, so it was a little small, but that's okay. That was not the issue. We just couldn't get over how lumpy and how delicate that bed was. The mattress was a little lumpy. I mean, we were wondering how many drunken one night stands happened right after, I don't know, like the 20th rendition of Save a Horse, Ride a Cowboy, or Who the F is Alice, that one. Oh man, that bed. Anyway, I left a little note for Jorge. I said, Jorge, get a new bed. But the location was the best. It really was really, really good. We were really ready for a loud night, kind of noisy and rowdy, and the police whistles blown by that tequila shot lady that walks around there. But no, not at all. It was very quiet. Relatively speaking, I should say. We did bring earplugs, but we didn't use them. Anyway, like I said, I mentioned to Jorge that he needed a new mattress, and hopefully he'll have one the next time I stay there, because that was fun. I'm going to do that again. Now, I have some emails that I need to get back to. I thank you for some of these emails. They're really, really great. And I'm going to read some of them next time we get together. But, I also have some great taxista stories that I wanted to share, but we'll wait for that too. I want to thank Reggie from Tennessee, and Matt from Canada. They both chimed in on my margarita question. I remember last time we'd asked you where you get a good or an honest margarita. And, Reggie likes the margarita at Jorge's Hideaway and Shrimp Shack. And he says they're good and they're strong. And Matt likes Bar La Playa. Both of them are very good choices. But hey, look at neither one of those guys serve, the margaritas in the big old-fashioned margarita glass. They're in the small glasses, but okay, I'll take your word for it. Thank you for your suggestions. And if you have any suggestions for me, I would like to share them with everybody else. So I'm just looking to get everybody happy, if you know what I mean. So send me your margarita suggestions, please. And by the way, Matt and I had a talk. We talked on the telephone last week. And Matt, I'm looking forward to meet you and Jody We're going to be meeting you hopefully in January, if we can make it at the same time you are. By the way, I'm listed, I'm a realtor. You can call me anytime. Don't try to sell me anything, and don't call me in the middle of the night. Please don't call me in the middle of the night, and no heavy breathing. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Speaking of drinking and happy, let's get to our first interview, shall we? Now, someone you already know, this is Gina Hendricks from our interview that we had at her first restaurant called Hot Mama's Whiskey Kitchen. That was over in Conchas Chinas, if you remember. A couple months ago, I actually told you I got an email from a disappointed listener who made the trip to Conchas Chinas only to find out that the restaurant was closed. And if you remember that, I also apologized for not keeping him on top of things. But I did mention that she had moved her restaurant close to Versalles to a restaurant that she was actually building at the time when I did this interview with her back in February. This was February of 2022. So at the time, I promised that I would stop in and I would talk with Gina in her new location. And by the way, it's a more centrally located location as well. It's not far from Costco, if you know where that is in Puerto Vallarta. It's right next door to Versalles, as a matter of fact. So let's find out what's cooking over in Gina's kitchen. It's sandwiched between Versalles and Costco. Let's go to Avenida Francisco Villa, 694, the Colonia La Vena, the vein to the heart of the city. Let's visit with Gina Hendricks, Whiskey Kitchen, Versalles, Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. Gina, thanks for coming on the show again.
Thanks for having me.
Now, we're in a different place, so tell us a little bit about, what happened to the old Whiskey Kitchen?
Yes, the old Whiskey Kitchen was amazing because it got me here.
Yeah.
But my name was not on any lease. So the owners of the lease decided they wanted to try their own concept, so they did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that was their property.
Their space,
They decided,
absolutely.
All right. Well, what you've got here is pretty amazing. I mean, the space is so much bigger.
Yeah.
And you are in, I think, a very accessible part of town.
Mm-hmm. It's called La Vena for a reason.
Yeah.
No?
Uh-huh.
The vein of Puerto Vallarta.
Yeah. It's
Yep.
right there, right? So give everybody, what's your new address here?
It's 694 Francisco Villa.
Okay.
We're less than a kilometer from Costco.
Okay, so it's Costco that could be, for all of you, if you know where Costco is in Vallarta, then you know basically where we are. So tell us about the new Whiskey Kitchen.
Okay, so we have expanded the menu because I have more room to cook.
Yeah.
I have created dinners with pairings called the Southern Experience, so you can come and invite your friends, and I'll cook shrimp and grits and all kinds of fun things that you miss. Myself, I'll cook for you and do all the pairings, so that's super cool.
Wow.
Just because I have room. And I am playing with my new concept called Hot Fish and Chicks.
Okay, now I just saw that. I was looking at the front of your place, and you got a service window out there. What's going on there?
It's super cute. So in this area in Francisco Villa, this is the heart of taco land in Puerto Vallarta. It's actually not Pepe's, by the way, just so everybody knows. But we love them too. But over here, it's tortas ahogadas, drowned tortas, drowned sandwiches, and tacos.
Yeah.
And over here is an awesome area to come and try tacos. So I basically am using my same kitchen and my same staff and doing tacos capeados like fried fish, but Baja style. Fried shrimp, but Baja style, but with my quality, my storage, all of the things that I think make us special, and all of the specific systems that we follow so that you know you're nice and safe when you eat here.
Yeah.
And you can have margaritas with your tacos because I have a liquor license.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Excellent.
So,
yes, that's a very cool
good
thing,
point,
right?
yeah.
You know, like, and so so is it going to be like just a walk-up kind of a window kind of a thing? And are you going to invite these people to come in and sit down too? Or how are you doing that?
You can get, to protect this concept inside, you can get a taco plate. So you can get 3 tacos and you can choose one of our sides.
Okay.
And you get a little baby mini nacho. To get through the window, you can just get singles of anything you want, right? So it kind of protects being inside. But of course, we're Southern hospitality here. So if you want to sit down, of course you can sit down. If you want to try a taco, come and try a taco. You want to try one of my new crazy snow cone Aperol spritzes with your taco, come and do that. Like we're playing with some fun things.
What was that? What was that?
Well, it's getting hot, right? And so Blondie's has slushies cornered.
Right, yeah.
They're amazing, right?
Okay, sure.
So we're doing like adult snow cones. So Aperol spritz, but poured over shaved ice.
Oh, wow.
Stuff like that.
All right. So you'll get as buzzed as you do over at Blondie's, do you
Yeah.
promise? Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean, they've been doing it longer than
They
me.
have. All right. But that's really cool.
Yeah, because it's hot.
It's hot.
Getting
and
hot.
it's going to be
It's getting
cold.
hot.
Yeah. All right. So tell us about your menu. You said you expanded it a little bit.
Yeah,
What's
so what I
going
did
on
over
there?
here, because I have room, because I would see large groups coming and wanting steaks, wanting pastas and things like that. So
Yeah.
basically, for example, chicken parmesan, it's awesome because my fried chicken is incredible. So basically,
Oh, yeah. Sure.
we just make our homemade marinara and put it over fettuccine, and it's chicken parm.
Yeah. And your yummy chicken.
Yes.
And chicken parm.
So just basically playing with things like that over here, a little more seafood, and also the addition of the tacos. I had a customer come 2 weeks ago that went fishing, and they gave me their whole fish, and I did like a whole menu around the fish that they had caught.
Oh, wow.
Because I have space here.
Yeah. Yeah. And God, talk about fresh fish. I mean,
Yes.
here we go.
I mean, goodness, we're in one of the greatest places on the planet. So
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So, you got a lot of room. You used to have music at the old spot. I'm sure you got a lot of room for that here.
I have lots of room for that here, and I don't have screaming neighbors.
Oh, really?
That
was
call
an
the
issue,
reglamentos.
wasn't it?
Oh my gracious!
Wow! Yeah.
So here, I'm basically in the middle of industrial land. I'm by an LED store. My the owners of this property are a very old family in Puerto Vallarta, the Rodriguez family. They have a ferreteria here, and they're awesome to me and have partnered well and very responsive. And we have no complaints. I think I had a birthday in April this month, and maybe we went a little too long, and the reglamentos came, but they were really sweet, and we fed them chicken, and they went away.
Ah, very good. Yeah, excellent, perfect move.
Yep.
I must say. All right, so you got live music. Is that kind of a?
We're trying to keep it even through low season because I like some musicians live here year round also.
Yeah.
So I try and support them as well. So we're trying to keep music every day except Monday when we're closed.
Okay.
And hopefully we're able to do that. I mean, I'm not even using the word low season anymore. I use summer season
Yeah.
to sort of change everybody's thought process about that because there's a lot of people still here.
Yeah,
the
there are.
airport's slamming busy.
Well, it's amazing. I think the pandemic kind of changed everybody's clocks a little bit, and they just said, "Well, I don't really care," or they came during the summertime and they said, "Hey, it's not so bad," So they're coming back. So because we did see especially a lot of Canadians coming, in the middle of summer, even, So
We just sweat a little bit more. We call it the Puerto Vallarta glow. And maybe we lose a little bit of weight.
yeah, well,
Right?
exactly right. All right, so you're gonna have you've got dancing, you've got all that good stuff going on too. Anything else that you can think of that you wanted to add?
I have to say, I think in people's minds that are over maybe in Conchas Chinas that were some of my regulars before who I adore and I consider them part of our family. And it's just not that far. Like, you can hop in an Uber, you can hop in a taxi, you can hop in a Didi and be over here in 15 minutes. Or you can make us like a part of your Costco run or your La Comer run, because we're open from 1 to 10 every day.
Yeah.
And I think people are like, "Oh, she's so far away." I'm not. I'm close.
No, yeah,
I'm
you're right in the
close.
middle of everything.
Yes.
Come on, you are.
Yes.
Now I gotta I got to guess that, transporting like food and beverages and supplies and everything up to Conchas Chinas was somewhat of a hassle, yes?
Yes, and I actually moved over here as well, so I've been able to, I don't know, let's say gain a little bit of sanity and a little bit more focus and play a little bit more here. But with Sam's, Costco, my vegetable vendor is close, they deliver, but I can sort of, if I want to practice on a green sauce with basil or whatever it is I'm playing with, because that's my joy, I can easily go and source things so much faster. And my goodness, I mean, if something breaks, I'm in the middle of everything you need right here.
Oh, yeah,
like
absolutely.
lights and the ferreteria behind me is massive.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you don't know what a ferreteria is, it's a hardware store. So, if you need anything, come see Gina,
I'll tell you where to go.
Yeah, she'll tell you exactly where to go and feed you, too. So that's really important as well.
Yes.
All right, so in this area, we have things like, you said there's Costco here. Of course, there's La Comer. There's all the markets are here, So it does make sense, to actually make this a part of your shopping run, really, because you're right on the way.
We're right on the way. And parking over here is way easier. I think over there I had like 3 parking spaces on a slant of like 45 degrees,
Yeah.
And here parking is way easier.
Absolutely. All right, so remind people about maybe your signature dishes. Tell us a little bit about those so that they can kind of get, their taste buds ready for this.
So to remind everybody, I hope to remind you of all the great Southern cuisine you forgot you loved. So I use my grandmother's fried chicken recipe. I use her macaroni and cheese recipe. And I've even expanded the menu to where if you on a keto diet, I have a keto recipe. I do cauliflower, mac and cheese. Even in the tacos, I'm doing a new fried cauliflower tossed in buffalo sauce.
Wow.
So you can have some cool veggie options. So, watch out, but I certainly get to play in the kitchen over here a lot more.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
No kidding. All right. Well, I'm looking forward to all of that, and I know that you all are looking forward to it too. I will have pictures in the show notes. You'll find it at www.puertovallartatravelshow.com. And all the food porn will be there, and we'll have, pictures of the brand new window that she's got out front there. Tell us again what it's called again.
It's called Hot Fish and Chicks, and the tagline is Tacos are sexy y tú también.
Look at that. Yeah, all right. You got to throw that y tú también in there.
That's right, a little Spanglish.
Very important. It's
right?
Very important, yeah. Well, you want people to think that they're also, sexy. So come on down, make it part of your day. Make it part of your night.
Yes.
Give us your hours. Yeah. What's
1
going
to
on
10 every day but Monday. Music generally is 7 to 9, but on Thursday I have Bluegrass Day, and it starts earlier, so it's like a bluegrass afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
It's 5:30 to 7:30. And then if you want to do something special for your followers that are here through the summer season, like what I want to do is create a 10% off thing for locals.
Nice.
So when you post this, if they want to say something in the comments, I'll reach out to them and I'll figure out a way to get them a card or at least a code. Like maybe it's berries cluster. I don't know. Something fun.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
All right. See, look at that. There's an extra added bonus for listening to the Puerto Vallarta Travel Show.
That's
Look at that.
right.
And, and I appreciate that too, by the way.
That's right.
Is there anything else you wanted to add, Gina?
No, it's really funny how much I love PV, being in Mexico City for almost 9 years and being here for like 2. I just love the people of PV, the community, and over here actually in this little area, come and explore Versalles a little bit. It's a really special, unique, growing community. And I think you'll feel at home too. Like it's a special place.
Yeah. Well, as you know, if you're listening to the show, I do spend a lot of time with my little Canadian family in PTL. And I'm telling you, it's a hop, skip, and a jump. If you come to visit PTL, stop at Whiskey Kitchen on your way home, and enjoy some real down home Southern cooking.
Yeah.
Gina, thanks so much for coming on the show today.
My
I really appreciate it. I really appreciate you telling us about your new place.
Yeah.
And remember, everybody, go to the website, check out the pictures, or you know what? She's on Facebook, so just
Whiskey Kitchen Versalles. That one.
Is that the one?
That's
okay,
the
Whiskey
one.
Kitchen Versalles. So that's the one. Like the page. That way you'll be alerted whenever they're having something special going on, okay? And again, Gina, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thanks, Barry.
Thank you, Gina. Thank you so much. Gina is a wonderful soul. I gotta tell you, I just adore her. I have links and I have maps in the show notes. It's really easy to find her restaurant, and you won't be disappointed. I promise you that. We'll figure out how to get you that Puerto Vallarta Travel Show discount. I promise that too. Now, Puerto Vallarta, it's a little town, and it's sometimes strange how things are connected. They're often, I find things connected in a strange way, and how those connections intersect is just odd to me. For example, when I went to visit with Gina, she had art on her walls in the restaurant. It was painted by our next guest, Viviana. Now, the house that I was staying at, Devon Ray's in Pitial, their casa has a very lovely, simple mural that Viviana painted about a year ago. It's downstairs in their cute little patio area. And then the last time that I stayed with Ray and Deb, back in January, in the guest bathroom of their casa, they had the very same painting that I was admiring. Just, it seemed like days earlier, but that also was painted by Viviana, and it was hanging right there in the bathroom. So, it was meant to be. And anyway, I had asked Debbie if she could set up a meeting with Viviana on the roof of their house, and voila, it was arranged. And so Viviana came up to the roof with her daughter Martina in tow. Now, Martina is the namesake of her studio, but Viviana explained to me that although Martina is a very talented artist in her own right, she does it as a hobby. She does it for fun. And all the work that's produced actually by La Martina Art is Viviana's work. So let's go right now. Let's go to a rooftop in Pitial, Central, Piti City, as they like to call it. Let's meet a very talented artist. Her name is Viviana Nolberque, La Martina Art, Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. Viviana, thanks for coming on the show today.
Oh, thanks for the invitation. Thanks to you. My pleasure.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from, and what was your path that led you here to Puerto Vallarta?
Well, I'm from Uruguay. It's a small country in South America, next to Argentina and next to Brazil. We are here from 2019, and we are here because of my husband's friend that talked about Puerto Vallarta to us so many times, and invite him for a work option and opportunity. And here we are. We try to figure out our business there, and here we are.
And here you are. So you went with your husband.
My husband and my daughter Martina.
Uh-huh.
She was 7 when we arrived.
Oh, okay.
So
you've been here how many years now?
4.
4 years.
This April 4.
Yeah. And you, where did you settle? What colonia are you in?
We are in Ixtapa. It's a local neighborhood in the, I don't know, I think it's the north of the city.
Yeah, I guess kind of northeast, right?
Yeah.
So when you came with your husband, did you have any idea what you were going to do when you got here?
At first, no. I'm a self-taught artist, and I started exploring in art with my daughter. We share that passion, that talent. She's more a digital artist, but we enjoy drawing and making paintings. And my husband said, "What if you just make a Facebook, post your work, and start like this, like I don't know if the exactly expression is like a joke, but Yeah, like we don't know where we are going to arrive with this idea. So I did it. I started working my logo and the name, and my brand is my daughter's name, Miss Martina. It calls La Martina because of her. Because
okay.
she is the heart of everything for us. So it's everything for us. For her, sorry. I make a Facebook and start taking pictures and use a better camera and using light for the pictures and make a social media content, videos. I made an Instagram, a YouTube channel, a website, and sharing, and spreading the voice.
Right. You got to spread the word and let people know what you should do, right? Because
Yeah.
you don't want to be a secret artist. You want to be someone that is known, right?
Looking for my place.
Yeah. Well, your art is beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sometimes I see that you do. Oftentimes I see that you're painting on. You're using wood as your medium, kind of almost like slats, huh?
Yeah. Most of my paintings are in wood because the main idea it was recycling and repaint furniture.
Oh, really? Okay.
So that doesn't work because we don't have the chance to do it really.
Yeah,
but the idea was recycling furniture, wardrobes, tables, chairs, repaint and give it another chance. So I started thinking what else I can use to recycle and make it beautiful. And I start to desarmar, disable, I don't know in English the word, desarmar pallets.
Pallet, sure. Wood, like a wood pellet.
Yeah, I take off each one of piece of the woods.
Okay. You're taking it apart and...
I take apart and I make another piece with the size that I want. Small pieces, big pieces. And I have a little amount of canvases. I have the most of my paintings are in wood.
Or in wood, right. Yeah. Well, they look great. I mean, it's just effective, and your paintings are beautiful. And if you want to see some of Viviana's work, you need to go take a look at it over on the website. It's at www.puertovallartatravelshow.com, and come to the blog post where we're talking about Viviana, and you can take a look at her work. Also, she's got the Facebook page, and of course, we'll talk about how to get there too. But I'll have a link to that in the show notes as well. Do you paint on other things other than?
Yeah.
I mean, you do the canvas, right? And you do and you do on the wood. Do you do murals?
Yeah, I made a few, yes. Interiors, exterior. I made a few, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You got some pictures of those that I can share with everybody?
Yeah, I have a lot of pictures. So if you visit my Facebook, you can see it. I share it again and again because we are having new friends in the Facebook. So maybe the old ones, like Debbie and Ray, they see everything, but there are always new people coming to the Facebook. So I always reposting the old pictures of the available pieces and the murals.
Do you now on those? Do you work? Where do you work? Have a studio? Do you have a studio at home? How do you do this?
Yeah, it's we have a. I say we, but we are the family of three. That's all we are. But
we use a family of three. It's still we. It's all good.
Yeah. It's a home studio. I used to work in our kitchen table. Now I made a recycled one with the same pallets. I used to make the pieces. I use a new ones that I have to make a gorgeous work table.
Yeah, good.
That I use with stools, and it's very comfortable. And I work there, and there are a few people that they are coming to our house to see the gallery. I have a little hallway. I have pictures of that hallway. This is like a home gallery. And anyone can visit. You have to send me a message and we can coordinate to visit. It's my home, but you can visit anyway.
Yeah. But it's in Ixtapa too, which is, a little bit of a trip, but kind of a little bit of a journey. You never know. But you also do home delivery too, yes?
Yes.
Yeah.
I do my deliveries myself. Sometimes my husband when he's available. but the 100%, the 90%, sorry, of the time I did myself the deliveries.
Make that
The
delivery.
people say, "Are you the artist?" Yes.
Yeah, I'm the one.
am. And I do deliveries.
Yeah, well, that's good. That's the way to do it. You want to make everybody all happy. You want to be that. Where do you get your ideas? Where do you get your ideas for the paintings?
Ooh, I love the digital art, and I love to see pictures of the art of photographers.
Uh-huh.
And sometimes I'm seeing and the idea came to me. And maybe I see a beautiful Mexican girl and I say, oh, that will be an amazing painting. And maybe I get inspired in that picture, and maybe I see flowers in another place, and that, the color palette brings me that there could be an amazing painting. So maybe I am different because I don't have art studies, and maybe the art came to me in different ways. I'm not that kind of artist. I don't know, sophisticated and with all the theory. I don't have the theory. I made what I can. So through my hands, it's what it came. I see the beauty, and my hands, they put it on the wood. I don't know.
It's natural talent. That's what
yeah,
you mean.
it's like
it's more than you don't know. It is you.
I don't know sometimes how I do that, and sometimes I try to replicate something that I did. It was like a in trance. I don't know how I do that sometimes. So it's a little magical sometimes.
Yeah.
Because I don't have techniques. I am a good observer.
Right.
Nothing more.
So when someone asks you to come and do a mural in their home or on their home, do they usually come with an idea for you, or do they say you create something for us?
No, sometimes what I do first is talk to the customer and ask what is their vision and what you would love to have in your wall. A beach, flowers, leaves. And they told me their idea, and I work in a design. I look for examples. If I don't have something similar, I look for examples and send it in pictures or drawings. And we work together in the design. No, it's not mine exclusively. It's just in very little opportunities that say, no, I leave it to you. You are the artist, make your art. In the most of the cases, the customer and I work together with the design to arrive in their vision of the interest.
You have a vision, and then you're just going to help them along with it, right?
Yeah. What is your wall? What do you wanna love to have in your living room? I'm not going to put my. I can draw you. I don't know. Tropical flowers, and maybe you don't like it. You like more sea life or a whale, or I don't know. There are many options.
Yeah.
But we work together in the design.
Excellent. If somebody wants to get a hold of you, you've got all that information in the Facebook on your post. You said you also have a website too?
Yeah, the website is a little I don't know what is the word in English. Desactualizado.
It's
it's not updated.
Not updated yet.
So the feed of the pictures it get feed by Instagram. So there is a little bit biopic there, and what are the services that you can find there.
Right.
Is that information, my number?
It's all there. So you got WhatsApp and all that other stuff.
My WhatsApp is the same from the beginning, so it's there, and it's in my Facebook also. Very good.
If somebody wanted to hire you and they needed something like a mural done, what kind of time frame should they think about as far as how long it would take start to finish on something?
I'm really fast. I try to finish in 1 day or two, unless that one I was talking to you, that it took me around 5 days, working 9 to 4.
A big project.
A big project.
Tell us about it. What was that like?
It was in the river, a enormous house with elevator itself.
Really?
I thought it was a 3-story apartment, but no, it's one house with 3 floors.
3 floors, yeah.
And the mural goes from to the first floor to the third. It was enormous ficus, one nature and animals. Sorry. It's a Danish house. Danish Owen, thank you. So,
well, hey, let's have a picture of that. Let me put that in the show notes so we could take a look
enormous.
at it. So you could kind of get an idea of what Viviana can do, from the tiniest thing to the biggest thing, right?
Yeah. Generally, it's in one day. Yeah. This one in the Reyes and Davis house, it took me a morning. I work really fast. I don't stop to eat, or I quickly drink water break.
Yeah.
But like a little obsessive. I start and I like to finish in the day. But if I need to go back, I go back.
Yeah.
No problem. It's like my thing. I want to finish. It's my anxiety. I need to finish it. It took me a day or 2.
Right.
Depends on the size, of course, or the complexity of the design.
Very good. Very good. So I guess you've done these murals about all over town, yeah? Different places?
Yeah, I made a few, yeah. I have some customers in Punta de Mita also. I made like 4 in the same house, in different days, in different occasions, in different rooms of the house. Yes, I have in Centro, I have here in PDL, I have in the river, in Cinco de Diciembre. Yes, you can find it. I would love to do some more public one.
Yeah.
Where the buses come through. I would love to. So if anyone is interested, only buy the paint, and I do it. Just to show.
Look at that. All right. So somebody's got some really cool little wall that maybe Viviana can do. Buy her paint.
Nothing more.
It's got to be in a nice place, though. I mean, don't be putting it in some alleyway that no one's going to see. Okay.
Please.
Yeah. We want to. We're looking to get her business. We're not looking to just hide it somewhere. We want it seen. And so. I will then put, what is the name of it? Once again, give me the name of your Facebook page.
La Martina Art, Puerto Vallarta.
La Martina Art, Puerto Vallarta. Now, can we talk about Martina?
No.
No?
We haven't.
So, Martina, when she's making paintings and when she's doing it, is she also doing it from her?
How does she
do it?
She's an amazing artist. I don't have that. I have to look inspiration. She doesn't. She is all in his mind. She's a digital artist.
How's Martina's English?
So. She understands. She have English books in English.
Uh-huh.
She can read, but maybe once she has to elaborate, like me, the words get stuck. But she can understand in English. Yeah.
So she does the same thing. She also has this natural ability.
Yeah, she has a natural talent. She's a digital, because it's for another generation. Also, it's logical that she has more approach to the digital stuff that.
So when you say the digital stuff, what do you mean by that? Are you talking about just working with computer kind of thing, or are you talking about...
She's drawing a tablet.
She's using the tablet.
An application and do this manga style Japanese.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. So how does that translate to media that you can put on your wall, or is that not even the same?
She's barely starting, but I think she has a bright future. Like a content creator, maybe, I don't know, movies.
Fantastic.
Cartoons, I don't know.
Yeah.
The sky's the limit for her.
Wow.
She's 11, so I think she has everything to get a great future. She wants to be a veterinarian, but she loves animals, but the talent is in the art.
Yeah, absolutely right.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, you never know. I mean, she's 11.
Right.
She's got time.
The sky's the limit.
Absolutely right. If you were going to take a bus from downtown or from the hotel zone to Ixtapa, which bus is
Which
it?
one?
Which one are we going to take?
You can take Palmas, you can take Ranchito, or you can take Bobadilla, Iztapa. The one it grows here. You can take it here in PTL.
Uh-huh.
And
So it
takes
goes
you
through Pitial, and then, so that's a Bobadilla.
Bobadilla takes you to the corner, the same corner of my house.
Okay.
It leaves you like a street and a half. So you can go into the bus and walk.
And just walk the rest of the way, right?
Like a street square. No, how you say it?
Yeah, a block.
A block.
Right? Yeah.
Sorry.
Una cuadra.
Una cuadra.
Sí.
Una cuadra y media.
Exactamente. Okay, so. All right, so that's the way you take a bus. Of course, a lot of people Uber if they want to come and look at your
It's more
collection.
easy, yeah.
It's probably easier, right?
If you take some paintings, it's easier to go in a private car.
Yeah, it is. That too, because the paintings can be big.
Yeah.
You want to carry those around on a bus, maybe. Maybe not a good idea.
I don't know. If there are more than one, it's heavy. The wood is heavy.
Yeah.
Take it in the bus.
You were telling me when I was talking about places to eat. You were telling me you don't like going out too much. You prefer to eat at home.
Yeah,
it's easier. And then there's local taquerias around your place.
Yeah, in Central, close to the square of Ixtapa, there are the most of the business of the taco. So sometimes we buy it there.
So what happens in Ixtapa? You're living in Ixtapa.
Yes.
So I know I've not visited the town square there. They have a town square that's decent.
We have a great square. That is where the soul of the neighborhood. Of course, they have any day of the week. You have activities and games for kids, and you can eat crepas, you can eat ice cream, and you can eat elotes, and you have you can find any store what you need. There is there. It has its own life.
So they got their own, like they set up booths like they do at in Vallarta, or what are they like?
The buses don't take you right. To
No. I didn't say booth. I should say they set up. They have little tiendas that they.
Yes, around it, like here, like in PTL, like little stores. I don't know, school stuff, flowers. I don't know, clothes.
Right, so they just set up. They set up right there in the town square.
Yeah, you can find anything there.
Wow.
What you need, you have to go to Plaza because it's like the soul of the neighborhood.
Is it? Now, a lot of these places, they're having these activities during the evenings. Is it safe in Ixtapa at night?
Yes, it's really safe. You can walk at night, really calm and enjoying. There are always our music and activities, and sometimes the people dance in the plaza, like you can see it in the centro. If there are some festivity particulars, there are always an activity. It's like here, like in PTL, like in Centro, it's like another little replica of the PTL square.
Okay.
Much more smaller, but it's like the centro of the neighborhood.
Wow.
Yes. It's really beautiful to enjoy it at night. After a long day of work, or when you want to enjoy a moment, you can go there and eat something local, eat your elote, drink your water, your Jamaica water. I don't know. See the kids play. There's space for skating, for riding a bike. And it's really beautiful. At night, mostly. At the evenings.
Yeah. So it's family time, right?
Yes. Super familiar. And super safety.
What's Uruguayan food like?
What kind of food we like?
Yeah. What do
Uruguayans
make? I mean, what is their food like?
We have a very big Italian and Spanish influence. We are sons of immigrants. We don't have indigenous people there. So
really?
We are Spanish and Italians and European people, sons and grandsons.
Interesting.
our grandpas are Italians.
Wow.
So we eat a lot of pasta and we eat a lot of cheese and meat. I don't know. You think it's Spanish and Italian food, and there is the kind of
yeah.
pasta and pasta
And more pasta.
and meat.
Pasta, yeah.
And meat. There's a lot of meat. We are from a country that the meat is a very high quality. We have like 2 cows for each people.
Yeah, so you're
there's
like,
a lot of
you're like right
cows.
next door to the meat capital of the world over there, Argentina,
Argentina
right?
and Uruguay, we have the best.
Yeah.
They say. I
They
don't want to.
say.
I don't want to take a party on that, but
Do Argentines do they like spicy food like Mexicans?
we don't have that much experience. My husband, for example, he used to, the most spicy thing we eat there is like this jalapeno in vinegar and Tabasco.
Yeah,
there's the most spicy. You can find very much like in every store like you find here.
Right.
It's a rare thing in the kind of stores like Costco that you find international products.
yeah.
But we don't eat much more. It was a shock for me. It was a shock.
I bet.
But
yeah.
I am used to now.
Now you like it.
She is used to.
I bet, right? Well,
Yeah.
you have to get used to it. It's all around you.
But it's a new experience.
Yeah.
And you have to take the experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you live here,
Sure.
you say no pica, no.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
No pica,
Pica.
no hot, not
No.
hot. That's right. Okay.
Yeah, no pica.
No pica. Remember that, you guys. No pica. If you don't like the heat, then that's
Don't
how you
believe
say
it when the Mexicans say no pica. Don't believe it.
Don't believe it.
No.
Because they kind of sit back and they watch you.
Yeah.
So then they go, okay, let's see how that one gets them. Right? Yeah. All right. So once again, when we're going to find you on Facebook, the name of your page is
La Martina Art, Puerto Vallarta.
Okay, very good.
And Instagram.
And Instagram too, right? Same thing, La Martina.
Yeah,
Arts.
the same.
Excellent. Okay, well, I'm going to have that in the show notes, you guys. Make sure you look for the pictures of Viviana's art. And I just want to thank you so much. I know that you had to travel over to PTL to come see me.
A little. Don't worry. This was my pleasure. Thank you for the invitation and the chance that people know a little more about me. Thank you to Debbie and Ray. There are friends of La Martina. Great customers.
Yeah, they are. I see their art. I see your art in their house.
Yeah.
And it just makes me, the art makes me happy. I love your art.
Yeah, that's the idea. That your eyes see what I try to transmit with the art. That it gets emotion to you, that touches you in some way. That's the idea.
Yeah. All right, all of you folks that are in Vallarta, need somebody maybe to do a mural. You've been thinking about it for some time. Viviana can help you. You got all the information there in the show notes. And Viviana, thank you so much. Thanks for coming on the show. Thanks for allowing me to introduce you and your daughter to my listeners. I truly appreciate that.
My pleasure. Thanks to you for the chance.
Thank you so much, Viviana. Thank you so much for letting me introduce you to my listeners. I have pictures of her work as well as links to her social media, her contact information too. It's all there in the show notes. You can look for her work when you visit Whiskey Kitchen, when you see Gina over there in Versalles. And the art is for sale, by the way, on that wall. So while you're having something yummy to eat over in Whiskey Kitchen, maybe you could do a little shopping for a little artwork to take home with you. And isn't it funny how just there's this kismet, there's this things that work out in Puerto Vallarta. You knew that already, didn't you? Of course you did. All right, well, that should do it for this week. Next week, stay tuned for more on-the-ground reports from Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, with travel tips, great restaurant excursion ideas, and more. But until then, remember that this is an interactive show where I depend on your questions and your suggestions about everything Puerto Vallarta. If you think of something that I should be talking about, well, please reach out to me by clicking on the Contact Us tab and sending us your message. And remember, if you're considering booking any type of tour while you're in Puerto Vallarta, well, you ought to go to vallartainfo.com. That's JR's website. Reserve your tour through him, right from his website. Remember, this is a value for value proposition, my friends. His experience and on-the-ground knowledge of everything Puerto Vallarta in exchange for your making a purchase of a tour that you would do anyway. You're just doing it through him as a way of saying thank you. Thanks, JR, for being our guide. It costs no more than if you were going to use someone else, so do it, really. And when you do take one of those tours, email me about your experiences. Maybe you can come on board and share with others what you liked or didn't like about the tour. Again, contact me by clicking on the Contact Us tab and sending off a message. And don't forget, he's got his maps, his DIY tours, and I have a link to all of those in the show notes. And once again, if you like this podcast, well, please take the time and subscribe, follow, and share with a lover of Puerto Vallarta, or give me a good review wherever you happen to be listening. That way we can get the word out to more and more people about the magic of this place, Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. Remember, I made it easy for you to do just that with each episode I create. But if you haven't been to my website, well, you really need to have a look there. I have links to the places that we talk about, interesting pictures and more, right there in the blog posts and in the show notes for every episode of the show. So check them out for sure if you haven't already. All right? All right. Thank you so much to Gina Hendricks over at Whiskey Kitchen in Versalles. Get on over there and enjoy some home-style cooking and some great entertainment, included in your Costco run. Here, I have links to all the social media and maps, and, well, all that stuff is in the show notes. You can find it at www.portavallartatravelshow.com. And thank you so much to Viviana Nolberque of La Martina Art in Puerto Vallarta. Your art is absolutely lovely, and I have links to all of Viviana's information. You can find it, of course, in the show notes. And thanks to all of you for listening all the way through this episode of the Puerto Vallarta Travel Show. This is Barry Kessler, signing off with a wish for y'all to slow down, be kind, and live the Vallarta lifestyle. Nos vemos, amigos.
De arrullo en el mar, samba de Puerto Vallarta, noche de amor junto al mar. Solo camino interno por la playa, me encuentro junto al río cuando todo está en calma. Pronto cae la noche, brillas Puerto Vallarta, samba de Puerto Vallarta, noche de arrullo en el mar, samba de Puerto Vallarta.